I think we're live. So let's get straight into it. I'm Technovoid. So it would seem. For some reason, I still have issues with the internet, but it's fine. I'm Technovoid, or Technovoid200. You may know me as that guy. If you only see me on Twitch, I'm here today to rate some Pokemon from Kanto. We're going to start off with Kanto, then we're going to be doing all the other generations, and how easy they'd be to beat the crap out of. Now, before you there in the YouTube comment section, before you finish typing that comment and press send, I do want to say I am aware that Wolfie VGC has made this video already, or something similar to it. I thought of this morning, and I thought it would be a good idea, and then it was like, oh shit, Wolfie's done this already, crap. But here's the thing, multiple people can come up with the same idea, and in fact, make the same video, and that's fine. And Wolfie VGC, he's the kind of guy that makes a lot of videos and a lot of tier lists, because let's be honest, they are low effort content, and that's why I'm doing this right here, right now, and that's just a fact. So for someone like Wolfie VGC who needs to be putting out a video every single day, it's a very easy way to get that content out. So he's done a Pokemon tier list for pretty much everything under the sun. So we're going to do this here today, and we'll be doing all the other generations. The way this is going to work, I have two rules in place. Number one, first rule in place, is that, how's the audio, by the way? Doesn't seem like anybody's here. Is anybody here? Doesn't seem like anybody's here. That's too bad. Alright, well, oh, I'm here. Thank you, Pilch. Alright, so there's two main rules here and how this is going to work. Number one, the bullshit that is written in the Pokedex is nonsense. PLKJ, I assume the music in the background is fine. It's audible as well, and I'm audible. That would be really good. All the bullshit they say in the Pokedex, let's be honest, that shit's written by children. Blastoise's water cannons can go through steel, and Machop can throw 100 men in a second or whatever. All that shit. Music up a tad? Alright, let's do that. Music up a tad. Let's see how that is. That's bullshit. That's kids not understanding the basic laws of physics. Dex Busters already exists, and they can prove that that's all bullshit. So I'm basically going to be taking a Pokemon's general abilities as a concept and comparing to that. The second rule, as a human being, I am not allowed to use any sort of technology, no guns, no hammers, no rocks, nothing like that. It's fist to fist, that's what I'm saying. So let's get straight into it. Starting off with Bulbasaur, number one. Bulbasaur is going to be a pretty easy fight. I think Bulbasaur, the one thing it's got going for it is it has those vines, but I'm honestly thinking those vines aren't going to be much of an issue, because it can grab your wrists or something, and maybe you'll break a wrist, but you can honestly just rip those vines, off of it, and that's going to cause a lot of pain. It can fight back, but I don't think well. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that, and they can't fight back. Next up, Ivysaur. Ivysaur is going to be a very similar deal. It is a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, but I think it's going to fall into probably the same category as Bulbasaur. It probably has a little bit better grip strength, but that's going to be what that is. Venusaur and Mega Venusaur, though, I think those are going to be tougher. Mega Venusaur and Venusaur are much bigger, bulkier Pokemon. They're a lot larger. One could potentially wrangle one and get on top of it, and sort of fight from its back. I do feel like it's probably got some really strong vines, though. So I'm gonna give it an even matchup. I'm not really gonna be taking into consideration Pokemon moves too much, where it's applicable, I guess, but for the main part, just what the Pokemon would be able to do in a one-on-one fight, not really considering, special moves and all that shit. We're just here for some punching, that's what I'm saying. Next up with Charmander. Now, Charmander is a bit different, because fire is a thing that does in fact hurt. I still think Charmander is probably going to be something that one can pretty easily punch. It is a salamander. It can breathe small fires at you, might, set some clothes on fire, but I'm not too worried about that altogether. Charmeleon, though, this is a little bit different, because Charmeleon does in fact have some claws. And those look like they could be kind of painful, alongside the fact that it does have some pretty hot fires. So I'm going to throw that one into even matchup. As for Charizard, I think Charizard is probably the first instance of a Pokemon on this list that is gonna be some heavy injuries sustained, because if you really think about it, not only is it a 5-foot fire-breathing lizard, it can also fly. And I don't think its body would be scaly, potentially. I'm guessing you could probably get a good solid punch in on its belly and do a lot of damage, but the fact is that it can set you on fire, and it can fly, and it does have claws, and it can bite, and that just sounds pretty painful. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Charizard that heavy injury sustain. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for Charizard Y. Charizard X though, the blue flames scares me because blue flames are generally hotter. And it's got a lot more, it's got tough claws, I think, so it can probably fuck me up pretty bad. I'm not sure if I want to say I'm dead, though, fighting this thing, but I think it's very likely. I think whereas with the other Charizards, I might be able to stop, drop, and roll, Charizard X, it's a tough customer. It's a tough customer. I think I'm dead against Charizard X, potentially. Moving into the Squirtle line, so with Squirtle, I don't think Squirtle really has a way of attacking me, but the thing is it can retract into its shell, and there's not much I can do there. So that's kind of gonna be an even matchup in some sense, because I can't do anything to it. And it can kind of like Koopa spin around in its shell, right? So I think that's probably an even matchup for me. Wartortle, I'd probably say the same thing. I don't think these Pokemon would be able to hurt me, but I also don't think I would be able to hurt them very well. Blastoise, I think Blastoise is going to be heavy injury sustained because it's bigger and it does have those cannons. It can shoot some pretty powerful water at me, even if they can't go through steel like the Pokedex says. Still think it's going to be pretty painful. Although I will say for Mega Blastoise, I actually don't think it'll be heavy injury sustained. I actually think it's going to be even matchup as well. Because unlike Blastoise, I don't really see how this guy's retracting into a shell. That shell is not, dynamic in any sense of the word. If he's getting in there, he's not doing anything. If you can get close enough, or behind him to where the cannons aren't doing anything, you could, fucking knock this guy over and fucking pummel his underbelly. So I'm not too worried about that. Actually, with Squirtle and Wartortle, you could also probably pummel their well, could you? Is the bottom of a turtle strong? The bottom of a turtle's not that strong, are they? Actually, let's move everyone down. Let's do this, actually, I think. That's probably a bit safer. Now, Caterpie. Caterpie's an easy punch. I don't even need to tell you why. You can just grab a Caterpie and you can just squeeze it in your hand and turn it into bug juice. I'm not concerned at all about fighting a Caterpie. Metapod, very similar. All it can do is harden. I can just kind of pick it up and just slam it on the ground a lot of times until it's deformed and dead and shit. Butterfree... Honestly, Butterfree I also think is probably an easy punch. I'm not sure there's anything Butterfree can do to fight back. It's got, tiny little hands, little teeth. I guess it's got some powder moves, but I'm overall not too worried about it. It can fly away, but assuming that we're in a cage match and it can't get away, the only thing it can do is play keep away. Eventually, it's gonna run out of energy. I mean, I could also run out of energy, but I'm just saying. I honestly don't see this as much of a threat. I guess it can fight back, sort of, but not really. I think it's just a waiting game with this one. I guess that's the same for Squirtle too, though. Yeah, that's fair. I'll put it in can't fight back. I won't say it's an easy punch. Now here we get to the first poison type. Well, actually the second poison type. Poison types, unlike in the main games, I feel like are going to be very dangerous because they can poison me. And I'm weak to that as a person. I don't think Caterpie's going to be... Well, Caterpie might be an easy punch. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about those stingers that it's got. I mean, if it envenomates me, I'm kind of in a bit of trouble. So I'm going to say it can fight back at the very least. You could probably step on it and it would be fine. A Kakuna I don't think is doing any damage to me. Now we're on the 3-foot-tall bee and its Mega Evolution, and I think those would probably kill me if you look at those drills. I don't think there's not much I could do against those drills. I'm probably very dead. Moving on to the Pidgey line. Punching a bird is not easy. as previously discussed. But I think it's doable. I don't think Pidgey's too much. I mean, it can peck me. Yeah, Mega Beedrill is going to straight fuck me, like, so hard. I'm dead as hell. But Pidgey, I think, I mean, it can probably fight back. It can probably, like, you know, gust up some, like, like sand and peck me a bit. But you know, it's got little claws. I'm not too worried. Honestly, I think I mean, Pidgeotto's a bit bigger. I think Pidgeotto and Pidgeot are probably both even matchups. And Mega Pidgeot as well. I don't think any of these birds can really do anything particularly scary. Sure, they can scratch at me. Sure, they can peck at me. You know, bring some gusts of wind. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna punch this bird. They can't stop me. Rattata's another easy one. I honestly think Rattata's gonna be an easy punch. Hello, Stormy. I'm punching Pokemon. I think Rattata's gonna be a rather easy punch, all things considered. It does have some methods of fighting back, but they're very minor. They're very minor. I don't even think I would consider it to the same level as something like Charmander. Raticate's a bit bigger. It does have those bigger teeth. I'll say it can fight back though. Next up, we've got the Spearow line. The Spearow, I think, is very similar to Pidgey in what it can do. Fearow, though, I think we do need to consider the fact that Fearow has one really, really good thing going for it, and one really, really bad thing going for it. The good thing is it's got an enormous beak. This thing can peck at me from a mile away. That beak might be as long as my arm, I don't know. And that's really bad for me. But counterpoint, its neck is so easily snapped. If I can get a fist around Fearow's neck, I have won this battle instantly. If I can even get a hand around Fearow's beak, it's fucked. Because I can just slam that stork into the goddamn ground and it's dead. And for that reason, I'm going to say it's an even matchup. Because it has some stuff on me, but I think I also have some stuff on it. Ekans, again, poison types are kind of dangerous. Ekans, I think, is probably just going to be able to fight back, because sure it can bite, and sure it's poisonous, but I'm not too concerned. Arbok, I would say... Arbok's a pretty big Pokemon. Arbok's pretty huge. I might sustain some pretty heavy injuries from Arbok. There's a lot of places I can hit it, but it has a lot of reach, and it's very agile. So, an Arbok could probably pretty easily constrict me, pretty easily bite me, envenomate me, and kill me, but I think I would still have a chance. I don't think I'm dead on that. Next up, everyone's favorite is Pikachu. Pikachu, what's he gonna fucking do to me? Electrocute me? I got my fucking rubber insulated boots. I'm not conductive. This motherfucker can't do shit to me. He's got to get the current to go through the ground. He's got to get a common ground through me, and that ain't working. This is an easy punch. Fuck this guy. Raichu, I think, is very similar. Their electric attacks are really not effective when you aren't, grounded. If you have some sort of insulation on your feet, the proper kind of footwear, it's really not a big deal. And I do have that kind of footwear. Because, I'm an electrical safety person. Yeah, I am well prepared. Fuck these electric types. I'm just saying, I'm coming into these fights, I'm ready for them. They're ready for them. They're just animals. What are they gonna prepare? Their fucking tail? I'm a man. And I said I don't get any technology, but that's not technology. That's just attire. I'm not too concerned about that. I think that's fair. Raichu, I think, is very similar in that regard. It can smack me. No, let's put these in can fight back. No, Pikachu can't fight back. I have the heavy-duty booties, it's true. Raichu, I think, at the very least, can smack me around with its tail. Its tail looked like it could be potentially sharp. Otherwise, I'm not too concerned about it. Sandshrew... Sandslash, I'm definitely putting Sandslash in... I think heavy injury sustain. That's a fast Pokemon. And it's spiky. It's got a lot of spikes. It's going to be tough for me to get a punch or a kick in on that thing. Sandshrew is a lot less dangerous, though. I don't know. I think Sandshrew probably can fight back against me, but not very well. I think it would be a pretty easy fight, all things considered. Next is the Nidoran line, and this one is troublesome. Because these have a lot of spikes, and they got poison in those spikes, and that's no good for me, a human. For that reason, I think Nidoran regular is small enough that I could sort of kick it around, and it wouldn't be too much of an issue because I am wearing those shoes. I do got those heavy-duty booties on. I think I would need to be careful around it, so I'm going to say it can fight back, and I think that the same would be true for both of them. They definitely have the potential to cause me some harm, so I don't think they're an easy punch, but overall, as long as I can fucking football them around the court, I'm not too worried. The evolutions, though, are scarier because they're bigger, they're harder to kick, and they definitely have more ability to smack me around. I'm going to go ahead and say that the evolutions are probably an even matchup, and then I'm probably going to take some pretty heavy injuries, especially from Nidoking. I think Nidoking is a big thing I need to be worried about. Seems like I might want to scroll out a little bit here so you guys can see more of these. There we go. Is that? No, a little bit more. Boy. I'm hearing boy. How's that? Is that? That's not centered at all. There, that's kind of centered. Alright, so moving on into Clefairy. Clefairy's an easy punch. Clefairy's just gonna take it. It can't do nothing to me. It's just gonna sit there. It's not got claws. It's not got, fangs. It's got nothing. The Clefairy and Clefable are easy punching bags for me. Dead as hell. Vulpix, that's another easy punch. It's got some embers. I'm really not too concerned about it. Less so even than Charmander. I'm really not scared about Vulpix. Vulpix, I can just grab those tails and just rip them off and just absolutely brutalize this fucking fox. It's dead as hell. Ninetales may be a little bit more of an issue. I still don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't seem to have, super scary claws, super scary fangs. I do think it's probably decently powerful, though. Its fire is definitely stronger than that of Vulpix. Something I need to watch out for. I think it's an even matchup. I think it's be comparable to Charmeleon in some sense. Jigglypuff, this thing's a fucking balloon. Wigglytuff is also a fucking balloon. I'm fucking smacking those in the next week. No problem. Zubat is the next Pokemon. It can sing me to sleep, but, I can cover my ears. I have hands, and then fucking punt it. I'm not super concerned about Jigglypuff. Zubat, its flying ability, all the flying ones do, at the very baseline, pose an issue, and that they have an extra dimension of mobility that I don't have. They have that whole Z-axis bullshit going for them, which I don't have access to without, a rock or a gun. And also they're poisonous. Zubat, at the very least, isn't too threatening. Its fangs are rather small. It probably can't inject enough venom into me to, seriously paralyze me. And I could probably grab it by those two stupid fucking tails and, so long Gay Bowser into next week. Golbat, on the other hand, has got a fucking enormous mouth. This thing could put my whole mouth, my whole head, in its mouth and bite down, and that's frightening. Another big problem about Golbat is that his whole body is its mouth. There's no good place to punch this thing unless you're punching inside its throat. The one thing with Golbat that I can see is the little, what do you call it in the throat? The little thing, you know what I'm talking about? Looks like a little punching bag. I could grab that from inside its throat and pull out. I could probably stick my arm down its throat and pull out its intestines, and that would be a victory for me. But I would have to be wary of what it could do back to me, and for that reason, I am gonna call it an even matchup against Golbat. Oddish, I can just pull this thing out of the ground and just punch the ever-living daylights out of it. It's not concerning to me at all. It's like when you punch a shark and you miss and it goes straight in the mouth. Right, but unlike a shark, consider the following. Unlike a shark, what am I saying? Unlike a shark, the teeth are not as incredibly brutal. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at? Alright, Gloom is, I think, very similar to Oddish. I don't think it's posing much of an issue. Vileplume, maybe a little bit worse. The one thing Vileplume really has going for it, I feel like, is that its petals look bulky enough that they could act as a shield for a while, and those flowers stink pretty bad. I think Vileplume would have the potential to sort of hold me off for a bit, so I don't think it's an easy punch. Paris and Parasect, I think, are both easy punches. I mean, they've got some and some claws, some teeth, but they're really not too concerning. Parasect's pincers are, frankly, incredibly ineffectual, and especially with Parasect, it's being mind-controlled by a mushroom. I like to think, I don't think of myself as a genius of any sort, but I do think I'm slightly smarter than a mushroom, and I'd be able to outsmart it. So there's that. I want to make this at least the right size is the thing, you know? Doesn't feel right being too small. There we go. Hopefully that's okay. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Venonat is, I feel like, another pretty easy punch. Venomoth, of course, does have its wings. I'm not too concerned about anything on its body in particular. I mean, I could rip off that abdomen pretty easily, I feel like. It does have, like, the shield dust or whatever. It does have, like, some sorts of dusts that it can flick off of its body at me, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but I really don't think I'm going to be that concerned about it. Diglett, the same way. Diglett, I feel like, can't hurt me. I don't see anything Diglett could possibly do to hurt me. It could make me lose my balance, and then maybe, you know, surprise dildo me up the ass when I fall on my butt. But other than that, I don't really think Diglett has any offensive options. All Diglett can really do is be really fast under the ground and pop up elsewhere, but as long as I got my feet, as long as I got my shoes, I can just step on this thing, eventually. So I'm gonna say that's an easy punch. I honestly don't see Dugtrio being any more dangerous than Diglett. It's 3 Digletts. I mean, what are they gonna do? It's slightly bulkier, and honestly that might make it easier to hit, who's to say. Meowth. Meowth is admittedly kind of scary. Meowth has some pretty big claws that it can use pretty seriously. It doesn't have any other... He could remain under the ground until I sleep. Right, that's what I mean, he could give me a rude awakening, but what's the worst that happens? I get, like, a backache. Like, it's not that scary. Surprise enema from Diglett. Meowth, I think, presents an issue in that fighting a Meowth is probably roughly equivalent to fighting a cat on crack in the real world. And I don't really want to fight a cat on crack. That sounds scary as hell. Those things got fucking teeth. They got claws. But I think overall, I mean, it's a cat. Persian does frighten me, because Persian is, sure, it's a very refined royal cat, but it's kind of a leopard. It's kind of a tiger. That can be lethal. That can be probably pretty lethal. I don't think it's too incredibly lethal. I think we could probably. The thing is, it's bigger than Meowth, and that's, I think, the big problem here. Its teeth don't scare me too much. Its claws, I think, are the main problem here. I'd say it's probably an even matchup. I'm thinking maybe heavy injury sustained, but I'll put it there for now. Psyduck. Yeah, it's like a puma. Yeah, pumas are scary. I feel like you could wrangle a puma. Pumas do fuck you up. It's true. That's fair. Alright, well, the thing is, Persian isn't so much like a puma, because it's sort of, isn't it a very, I guess it depends on the Persian, but I feel like they're very, like, royal, regal, like, they don't do shit, you know? But I mean, at the end of the day, just punch it between the eyes, what's it gonna do? It does have that, like, fucking rock between its eyes, though. That feels like it would hurt to hit. Psyduck's an easy punch. What's Psyduck gonna do? He's gonna think really hard. Golduck does have, he's got some claws on him. The beak is, yeah, that's the Chimera Domesticated, that's what I was thinking. The beak is somewhat dangerous. It does have some decent psychic powers from what I understand, but I don't think it could do much more. I think it'd probably be an even matchup. I feel like, depending on where we were, I think on land, I definitely have the advantage against a Golduck. I think if there's some water in the arena, I definitely need to be wary of that, and it does have those psychic powers, which I need to be concerned about. Mankey is a monkey. It can fight, but it's still a monkey. So I'm gonna go put Mankey and fight back. Primeape, on the other hand, this thing is built to fist me, and I don't like that, potentially. I think, again, punching Primeape seems pretty easy. It's a pretty big target. There's not much of a place that I could miss and not do a lot of damage, but it's got, like, it's pure muscle, I'm thinking. So I'm thinking Primeape is probably going to be some heavy injuries. Growlithe, it's like fighting a dog that can also breathe a little bit of fire. I think it would be very similar to Charmander. I think it's a little bit less scary than something like, or rather, is a little bit more scary than something like Vulpix. Just because Vulpix is so, you know, Vulpix ain't scary. Arcanine is a real threat, though. I think Arcanine could fuck me the hell up, too. I mean, that thing, it's got some real fire, it's got extreme speed, like, that thing can run real fast, and it's a big dog. It's a big dog. It's also probably, like, it could probably generate a lot of body heat, which would make grappling with it a real problem. If my flesh is literally getting burned as I try to grapple with this thing, that seems dangerous to me. Moving on to Poliwag. Poliwag, that's I mean, come on, that's an easy punch. What's Poliwag gonna do? Poliwhirl, very similar situation. I don't think it can really do much. To me, its fists seem rather incapable of throwing out any real punches, and it's a big squishy target. Poliwrath is a puncher. He do got those muscly fists, but unlike Primeape, he's still very squishy, from what I understand, so I'm going to put him in an even matchup, because he's definitely got that fighting prowess. But I do still think he's not quite as strong as something like Primeape, which is probably pure muscle. Moving on to the Abra line. Abra, I don't think is an easy punch, if only because it's going to be very difficult for me to hit it. It does have some psychic abilities. Yeah, that's true. What is Abra gonna do to me? All he can do is teleport around, and if we're in a cage match, he can't teleport out of the cage match. He can't do shit to me. Abra's an easy punch. I just need to wait for my chance and grab that thing. Ain't not about a thing. Okay, I need to scroll down. Alright. Kadabra, though, Kadabra does have some pretty intense psychic powers. I mean, this boy can bend spoons. If I can get a hit off on him, I think he's down for the count. But you know, I feel like getting close is going to be an issue, and unlike Abra, he does have a lot of psychic abilities that would be able to probably fuck me up pretty bad. He could probably twist my tendons and shit. So I'm going to give him an even matchup. Alakazam, I think, can hard fuck me. Alakazam can, like, just squish me into a ball, and that sounds painful as hell. Oh god, we can't see any of these, man. How do I do this? Let me... Is this up at all? You can scroll up a bit. Can you scroll up a bit? Yeah, I mean I can't, but then... Oh, okay, here we go, this should work. Okay, Alakazam, Mega. Can this thing kill me? Probably. Probably. I'm gonna give Megazam the dead because it's very fast and it's very powerful. Alright, moving on to Machop. I think Machop is probably an even matchup. It's small. It is made completely out of muscle. I'm going to have a tough time taking it down, but I think at least with Machop, I would be able to hold my own to some degree, even though it is built for fighting. Machoke will crush me. Machoke will very much murder me. I think I'm taking heavy injuries from Machoke, and I think Machamp is absolutely decimating me. Even if this thing can't throw 100 punches in a minute, it does have 4 arms, and he's hulking out. I'm very dead. Bellsprout, that's gonna be an easy punch. I'm literally going to rip his head off, and I'm going to wear it as a hat. Alright? Very similar situation for Weepinbell. I'm not even slightly concerned. This thing doesn't even have teeth. This thing doesn't even have a teeth. Can I do that? I'm trying to find a good medium here. Is that okay? That's sort of okay. I can't really scroll out anymore is the problem. What if I did this? Does that work? That might work. Victory Bell, unlike the previous ones, it has teeth. It does have, you know, a little whippy tail that it can use, but it's a huge target. I think the best it can do is fight back against me. I don't think there's too much beyond that it is hurting me with. Tentacles like a jellyfish? You can fit in Victory Bell? That's kind of scary, Stormy. Either Victory Bell is huge or you are tiny. And I mean, I knew you were tiny, but like, damn. This thing's just eating Stormy alive. Tentacle. It's kind of like fighting a jellyfish, honestly. Kind of like a souped up jellyfish, and that's not pleasant. Like, it can sting you. But I'm not too concerned. I mean, stinging is not pleasant. I'd say it can fight back, probably, in the right conditions. Is it okay if I scroll down and sort of, you know, lose some of these top ones for a bit as we talk about these? I'll scroll down and then scroll back up every time. How about that? Tentacruel is probably more dangerous than Tentacool, if only slightly. It's got a lot more tentacles. I feel like it can really fuck me up, and it's got that big-ass mouth. It's got that big-ass, like, hooked mouth. Is it a heavy injury sustained? Actually, that thing is probably heavy injury sustained. If I can't get on top of it well enough, and it has good enough control of its it's not a nose. I mean, I assume it's like a beak, right, of some sort, like a sharp, like, beak, like a squid, maybe. Either way, if I can get on top of it, I might be okay, but if all of those stingers are venomous and they all sting, that's gonna hurt a decent bit. So I'm actually gonna put that in heavy injuries sustained up there. Next up, we got the Geodude line, dude. Geodude line is hard to say. Geodude, I think, can fight back. Geodude is a rock. I mean, I'm punching a rock, and that's just a fact. But here's the thing about Geodude. With Geodude, it's small. If you can grab one of its arms, like it'll punch you, it'll bruise you pretty bad. But it's blunt. There's no slashing power there at all. It can't cut you. It can just bruise you. If you can grab it by one of the arms, you could like smack it into the ground. You could twirl that thing around like all day. If you could just grab it by an arm, because it's only got 2 limbs. It's only got the 2 limbs. If this thing had feet, it would be so much scarier, but it doesn't. So as it stands, I don't think it can do too much to me. I just don't think I can do very much to it either without slamming it against the ground. Speaking of rocks with hands and feet being scary, we've got Graveler. And Graveler is certainly scarier than Geodude. It could punch me in the face, but the thing is, Geodude is small. Its arm length, its reach is not that large. You know, I feel like I could restrain it not too hard. It would not be too hard for me to restrain a Geodude, which is not something I can say about Graveler. I honestly think Graveler and Golem would both be heavy injuries sustained, because what can I do against these rocks? I honestly don't know what I can do against these rocks. I don't think I have an option. With Graveler and Geodude, I mean, they can roll up and they can just flatten me. I've got no chance. I've got no chance. Moving on to Ponyta. Ponyta's a horse. I can punch a horse. It is a horse on fire. They also got Splode. That's true. I mean, we've all lived in an explosion now and again. They contain TNT. Well, look, dude. Sometimes you gotta ignore that fact. And that's what I'm doing. Ponyta is a horse on fire. I'm thinking pretty hard about Ponyta. I give Ponyta the even matchup. It's small. It's a small horse. I'm not worried about it trampling me. But in the same line as Charmeleon, hoofs can hurt. It's fast, and it's on fire. I don't think it's as scary as something like, or I think it's rather more scary than something like Charmander or Growlithe. Slightly. I think it's probably going to be at the bottom of even matchup. I do think Rapidash will fuck me up. Rapidash is a large horse. It can trample me. It has a horn. It's on fire. I'm probably in a lot of pain right now. You could punch it. You could still punch it. Horses are weak to punches. I would know. I've tested this theory. You're going to the hospital regardless. You're getting beaten within an inch of your life. Next up, we got Slowpoke, and Slowpoke, yeah, kicking you beat. Right, but the thing is, Rapidash is very fast. I don't think I can keep up with a Rapidash. No way, no how. Slowpoke is, it's an easy punch. I mean, what's this thing gonna do to me? It's gonna sit there. It's not that hard to deal with. Slowbro, on the other hand, is also not seeming very dangerous to me. The big thing that Slowbro has going for it is that it does have that shell, which seems kind of painful and spiky, but it's pretty slow. By the time it realizes that I'm punching it and it needs to fight back, it has already taken enough of a beating that I can finish it off. So I'm going to put it in can fight back, but not very well. Mega Slowbro is a lot harder, because Mega Slowbro is in fact a big shell. And there's not too much I can do about a big shell. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's some heavy injuries sustained on Mega Slowbro. Although it can't really do anything back to me. I just have to beat through its armor. I'm gonna give it an even matchup. What's this music? This is Maple Story. This is 85 minutes of relaxing Maple Story music. Do I have any water left? I do. Not Geodude, Magnemite. Now, Magnemite, I want you to think to yourself, this thing's made out of steel. How are you going to punch this thing? Let me tell you this, Magnemite is held together by what? It's held together by the electromagnetic force. Look at those magnets. You see them? What if you were to grab Magnemite and literally rip this thing apart? It's possible. Because those magnets are not fused, as far as I understand, to the metallic body. So if you could rip those magnets off, if you could overpower the electromagnetic force keeping it together, you could turn this thing into a bucket of bolts. Now I do think Magnemite is going to be not the easiest fight, but I do think it could be dealt with. I do think it could be dealt with. Magneton I do think is going to be harder to deal with, of course. The fact that there's 3 of them means that I'm at best beating one at a time. Put that in even matchup. Farfetch'd, he's a duck with a leak. Ducks can be scary. I will admit this. Geese are very frightening. Farfetch does not scare me too much. Leeks are not dangerous, and when it comes to weapons, I'm just going to eat his leek. And maybe I'll eat him too. I mean, he's got a beak. He's got a beak. I say he can fight back, if only barely. Doduo is scarier, though. Or rather, yeah, maybe. Doduo has 2 heads, so that's twice the shit I'm dealing with. If I can grab a leg, or if I can grab a neck, I'm in business. I can fuck this thing up. But 2 heads makes my life quite difficult. I'm thinking Doduo. Doduo's gonna be an even matchup for me. That is twice the pecking power. That's gonna be rough and tumble for me. And Dodrio is definitely gonna be heavy injury sustained, no question on that. Potentially even death, but I don't think it would kill me. I think you could kick it away. I think legs are long enough that you could kick it away. Seal, come on, we club seals every day. Just club him. He's dead. Just punch that seal. Dugong, I think, is very similar. Dugong's got some, like, I don't know, cold ability. Is there a depressed head? I guess there is a depressed head. Huh. Never thought about that. But the other 2 heads are kind of dangerous. Either way, I think Dodrio is very scary. Dugong is... it's not too powerful, right? I will punch Seal all I want, and I already have. Seal's been punched easily. Dugong's also gonna be punched easily, honestly. This is such an easy punch. People do this for money. Punching him. Okay, now we come to Grimer and Muck, and I'm throwing these guys into I'm dead. Because, hear me out, I can't punch these. I don't know what they're made of. I'm very likely dead. Like, if I stick my fist or my foot into Grimer or Muck, I'm very likely not getting that appendage back, and I don't know what kind of toxins it's made out of. These things will consume me, and I will die. Shelder's, I honestly feel like a pretty easy kill. You've just got to crack it open. It doesn't have much mobility options. The big tongue, you could grab it by the tongue, you could rip out its tongue, you could grab it by the top and the bottom of the shell and yank it open the way fucking Mario yanks open that stapler in Origami King. Just fucking crack that backbone, crack that shell. That's an easy punch. Cloyster, I'm taking some serious injuries from. I'm shucking that shell. I'm fucking that shell. But Cloyster's definitely a lot scarier. It's a lot spikier, a lot stronger. It's got some extra spikes. He's got several layers of defense. And I think he could do a bit of damage to me too. So I'm actually pretty dangerous. I'm pretty scared of Cloyster. Moving on to Ghastly. I don't think I can punch Ghastly. I think Ghastly naturally wins against me. Just because it's ethereal, there's nothing to punch, and it's made of a poison gas that it will just use to suffocate me and murder me. So that's not great for me. I feel like a very similar thing goes for all the ghost types in this generation. Ghost types in general are going to be very hard to hit. Set your hand on fire and then punch it. That seems like anti effective for me. But for real though, if I had matchsticks, I might be able to deal with Ghastly. I did say I'm going into this with no abilities, like no man-made abilities. But if I had like a lighter or something, I could probably turn on a lighter and chuck it at a Ghastly. I don't know if its gas is explosive or not, but I could probably set it on fire. But generally, I think all of the ghosts in this generation, both the fact that they're a ghost, which makes it very hard for me to hit them, and the fact that they're poisonous in this generation, puts me in a really, really bad position. Onyx is a large rock snake, and I don't know how I can hurt Onyx. honestly. I was thinking heavy injuries, but now that I think more about it, I think I'm just dead against Onyx. I'm not sure there's anything I can do to it to kill it. I don't think I have any options there. I'm dead. I'm dead. That's a rock snake. You're not large enough. I'm not large enough to wrangle him. He's dead. Drowsy, this tapir is getting punched right in his nose, though. This tapir is dead as hell. Hypno, I feel like is not too dangerous. As long as he doesn't hypnotize you, you're in a good position. You basically gotta wrestle. You gotta wrestle with him. What's Hypno gonna do then? I feel like I mean he's got some hits. You know, a lot of the Pokemon in Easy Punch just straight up don't have limbs. I don't think Hypno's an even matchup. I mean, how tall is Hypno? Hypno's probably like 4 feet tall. Let's check. I don't think Hypno's taller than 4 feet. I have a new sub. Fantastic. Hypno, and don't show me all the porn, please. 5'3". Okay, so I'm about a foot taller than Hypno. I'm gonna take him down. That's that. He can fight back. I'll give him that, but I'm not too scared. Krabby can fight back, I think. I mean, it's, as far as pincers go in this generation, there's not too many Pokemon with effective pincers. I think that, Krabby is one of them. It can get me with those claws. It can. And we do have Pinsir coming up too. But it can definitely get me with those claws. I'm scared of them, but also I can step on it and crush it. Kingler is a lot more dangerous. Luckily, Kingler does not have huge range. If I get in range of that big claw, I'm in a very bad position, but I think I can probably keep away long enough, potentially. I'll say Kingler's heavy injury sustained. He's not balanced well. I think I can take him out. I think he's either even matchup or he's heavy injuries sustained. I don't know if he's definitely not lethal. Although they skitter sideways very fast, so that's noteworthy. Voltorb and Electrode. Now, if we're gonna talk about explosions, yeah, I could probably kick Kingler, but again, I do have to worry about getting in range of Kingler, because if I get in range of Kingler, that clamp is hurting me pretty bad. Maybe even matchup, but I'll leave him in heavy injuries. Voltorb and Electrode. Honestly, I mean, these things are like just made of metal. I'm pretty sure these are just balls of metal, and they're electric. And I know that I said electric isn't gonna like do much to me depending on what it is, but they can still generate heat, and they can explode. I think Voltorb is probably an even matchup. I think Electrode is probably very heavy injury sustained. Voltorb Explosion I think is probably not dangerous enough to take a man out. And you can kick it around like a soccer ball. Electrode's big enough that is a dangerous game to play. Execute is some eggs. I don't think I need to say anything else about that. There's just a couple of eggs. I'm gonna step on them. I'm gonna crack them. Executor is a whole ass palm tree. One great thing about Executor is that he does not have arms. He does not really have limbs. His feet kind of suck. He does have some psychic powers that he could potentially use to, I don't know, like give me a cramp. Executor's not that tall. Executor's pretty short. We're not talking a lowland boy. Honestly, I feel like I could knock him over. I feel like the worst he's doing is using some psychic powers against me, but I'm honestly not that concerned. I think Executor's an easy punch. I'll tell you what, I've punched a tree in my time. They're not hard to punch. Even the ones that, you know, do have those psychic powers, it's done. It's done. Now Cubone, he is hitting me with a bone, and that kind of sucks for me. But overall, it's still a pretty easy punch, I think. We'll also you can fight back. Marowak, on the other hand, slightly more dangerous. Yeah, he does know how to use his weapon. And that is concerning to me. He gets a weapon and I don't. That's kind of bullshit. Can I have a weapon against Pokemon with weapons? That only seems fair to me. No, I mean Marowak. Is it heavy injury sustained? I think Marowak's an even matchup. If I can get that bone out of Marowak's hand, I think I'm in a good position to win that fight. Hitmonlee is gonna fuck me up pretty hard. Hitmonlee, he's got enormous range on those legs. He's going to send me to the hospital in a beat. Same with Hitmonchan. I mean, these fuckers are... I don't think they'll kill me. I don't think they will kill me. But they will definitely beat the shit out of me. There's no question about that. Lickitung, I'm punching this man. I'm ripping his tongue out. I'm making him bleed. You think Hitmonlee could kill? You think Hitmonlee can kill? Which one's Hitmonlee? It's this one, right? I mean, I guess if they, like, dislocate my head. I'll leave him in heavy injury sustained. Coughing and wheezing. He has sharp toenails. That's true. You make a fair point. The Hitmonchan is pretty much all blunt force. Internal bleeding kind of stuff. I think it depends on how long the match lasted. You have a point about Hitmonlee, and I definitely think Hitmonlee is more lethal than Hitmonchan in this situation. But I don't know if I'm dead. I'm probably dead, but who's to say? Coughing. He does have, you know, poison gas, but he's also not got limbs. So as long as I stay out of that poison gas and just punch, I'm fine. I gotta pay a little bit of attention as to my location, my positioning around coughing. Very similar thing for wheezing. I don't think those two have much recourse to fight me, as much as they have recourse to prevent me from staying in one place for too long. Rhyhorn is tough. Rhyhorn, I think, is going to be an even matchup because it's got some very hard skin. I can get on top of him, and I can rodeo the fuck out of him. Cow tipping for Rhyhorn. Interesting thought, but I don't think I can punch him in any way. I don't think I can do damage to Rhyhorn. I think the best I can do is make it a draw with Rhyhorn, which is why I think I have to put him in an even matchup, because I don't think I can win that fight. I just think I cannot lose that fight. Rhydon is definitely more threatening. The horn scares me. He's got a drilled horn. He's standing up. He's like 5 feet tall. He's probably made of like rocks and shit. I'm gonna say there's some serious injuries happening there. Chansey's another fucking pink punching bag as far as I'm concerned. Tangela's another punching bag. This one's made of spaghetti. Paschetti, dude. Nice easy Paschetti kill. Alright, next up on the list is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is threatening. Kangaskhan is a mother, and I know a thing about mothers, and they are fucking just about as scary as geese. If your hand gets stuck in spaghetti, you keep pushing through the hand. Eventually, your hand comes out the other side. You know, that's just what I'm saying. But geese and mothers are just about the most frightening creatures on this planet. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Kangaskhan is probably... she looks like she's made out of some tough shit, too. I'm gonna say some heavy injuries sustained. For her, as well as for her and the baby. The double team there, I'm not too scared about. I don't know what really the baby's gonna do to me. He's gonna kick me. I can punt the baby. The thing is, if I punt the baby, the mom is mauling me to death. And that is noteworthy. She is big and she has claws and fangs. These are true facts. These are true facts that you mentioned. I don't know if I'm dead, though. Like, I don't think that's an instant kill. That might be a kill, like, once I'm in the hospital for a while. But the I'm dead here is, like, I died during the fight. Heavy injuries sustained, I might die from blood loss, like, you know, on the hospital bed or something. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we got Horsey. Horsey's a punching bag. What's it gonna do? Kingdra, honestly, kind of still a punching bag. I guess it can shoot some shit out of its mouth. But I'm honestly not too concerned about it. Seadra, what did I say? Did I say Kingdra? I just see the thing stepping on you and you're done. I don't. How's it gonna step on me? It's like 5 feet tall. It can't step on me. It's not that big. How big is Kangaskhan? How big is Kangaskhan? Let's find out. Kangaskhan. Oh fuck! Kangaskhan 7 feet tall. Damn, son. Who made Kangaskhan a foot taller than me? That's kind of stuck. Damn. All right, noted. It's less than 200 pounds though. It's only like 170 pounds, which, you know, kind of a lightweight, all things considered, given the fact that it's, you know, I'm heavier than it, and it's over a foot taller than me. So it feels like kind of a lightweight, honestly. I don't think I'm dead. I don't think I'm dead in that fight. It's just it doesn't seem like it has the muscle mass to back it up. Seadra is... I mean, I don't really know what Seadra's gonna do to me. All things considered, I don't really see what Seadra can do to me. Goldeen is a fish. It's got a horn, but, you know, it's a fish. Sea King... It's a bigger fish. Just put him in, can't fight back. People have swallowed goldfish whole, what's it gonna do? I mean, it's got the little spike. It'd be painful to digest, I guess. This is a big goldfish, though, Sea King. That's a koi. Staryu, I'm punching Staryu. I'm punching Starmie. I'm punching them. Sure, they got rocks in the middle of their faces. But, you know, I can crack that shit. Mr. Mime. Now, Mr. Mime, we do really have to consider here as a potential threat. Raticate broke the gem in the anime? Alright, I'm doing it. No, Mr. Mime is an issue, legitimately, because Mr. Mime can set up barriers that I can't break through, and that is an issue. If I can get to Mr. Mime, he's an easy punch. If I can grab him physically, I don't think Mr. Mime poses any threat physically to me, but he can keep me away from him. So I think that's a can fight back for Mr. Mime. Scyther, I'm dead. I mean, let's just be completely honest. We look at Scyther, he's got these scythes. He's just gonna chop my head off. I'm very dead. Jinx, I feel like is sort of in a similar situation to Mr. Mime. Where, you know, it probably has some, you know, protective abilities, it probably has some icy abilities, but at the end of the day, I'm just punching a woman. It's been done before, unfortunately. I wish it hadn't, but, you know, it has been. Electabuzz is, she's gonna get punched when she kisses you unconsensually. There you go. Electabuzz and Magmar, I feel like, are going to be very similar. Magmar, I actually think, is going to be some heavy injury sustained, because that can cause some really dangerous third-degree burns to me, despite it being, you know, not the biggest Pokemon. Electabuzz, I feel like, is going to be less dangerous if I'm not grounded, or rather, if I am grounded. Assuming it can generate heat, though, also with the electricity, it's either an even matchup or a heavy injury sustained. Yeah, I think against Electabuzz we're pretty even here. It's fists. I mean, it doesn't have claws, it looks like, in the same way that Magmar does, and Magmar definitely has the advantage with the element, I think, against me. So we'll put it there. Pinsir. The real question with Pinsir is, am I dead? Mega Pinsir is definitely killing me. The question is Pinsir killing me or not? If I get stuck in those Pinsirs, I am gone. I am very gone, but its arms are weak, its legs are stubby. I feel like it would have trouble getting to me. Its mouth is very frightening. I don't know about y'all, but like, Pinsir's mouth is maybe one of the scariest goddamn body horror things in Pokemon. I don't like its mouth, and I don't like the way its teeth move, like in and out, like I really hate that. I'll put it in heavy injuries. How would you hit it without the pincers touching you? I mean, the pincers are on top of its head, so it would have to kneel down, right? So Stormy says I could get behind it. Also, I mean, I think he could turn around fast. Yeah, I mean, the pincers are big. But there are other parts to his body. Because the pincers, they're on his head. He can bend forward, but the pincers are on his head in the same position. They can't tilt. Like, he has to tilt his whole body. So if I'm on his side, all he can do is turn. And, like, his legs are stubby. His legs are really stubby. It's... Stormy, you got it wrong twice. That's not how you spell... Agilely? I don't even know what word we're trying to say. Getting behind it won't be easy. Right, but you don't have to get behind it. You just get to its side. I don't know. I feel like agile. Yes, agilely. Yeah, I mean, if I get in pincers, I'm very dead. I can agree with that. Yeah, you know what? I'll say it's lethal. I think it's more lethal than Kingler, which is why I'm putting it up there. Tauros is a bull. Tauros, I think, is very much an even matchup there. Magikarp is an easy punch. Gyarados might kill me. Gyarados will probably kill me. How big is Gyarados? This is another one where I think the size matters. Gyarados is 21 feet long. I think I'm dead. I think I'm very dead. On land, could he kill you? Well, he can fly. Mega Gyarados, I'm not as sure if Mega Gyarados would be as scary. I think, yeah, because Mega Gyarados is very raging. I don't know. Honestly, he can't, but he's flying type. Gyarados is flying type, though. He flies air. He can learn bounce. Mega Gyarados, for what it's worth, I think heavy injury sustained, if only because it's got a lot longer whiskers, and I can just pull on one of those whiskers. Lapras I honestly think is probably going to be it can fight back. Because it's got Ice Breath and stuff, but, you know, it's not that mobile. Even in the water, it's, like, not that mobile, I feel like. It has, like, one axis of movement. Ditto! Now, Ditto can turn into me, and that, I think, makes it an even matchup. It could be holding a Choice Scarf, in which case it's slightly faster than me, but I still think it's an even matchup there. Because Ditto can't turn... I guess Ditto can turn into something that would be lethal, but it would have to see it, right? I mean, by anime rules, I guess it could turn into whatever it wanted, but in Pokemon fight rules, it would have to turn into something that was on the field, and I'm the only thing on the field. You can't use Imposter to turn into Reshiram, you know? Who let him have items? Nobody, no items. I think Ditto is a strange case in that depending on what you consider Ditto's abilities to be, he's either going to be I'm dead or he's going to be even matchup. For the sake of this, I'll put him in even matchup. Next up is Eevee. Just fucking literally tear Eevee to shreds. Eevee's dead as hell. Yeah, Eevee's dead. Eevee's gone. I've ravaged your Eevee. He's been decimated. Oy voy? More like oy vey, I'm dead. You ever thought about that? Alright. Eeveelutions. I think Flareon is probably the scariest of these. But even so, I think Will he transform into something defensive like Geodude or offensive like Scyther? I think Jolteon and Flareon are probably even matchup. I think Vaporeon's probably a bit easier to fight. All things considered, that's my situation that I'm feeling like. Porygon is honestly a pretty easy punch. It's a computer program. It just kind of, it doesn't move around well. It's glitchy. Almanite and Kabuto, I feel like are in a similar situation where they don't have much that they can do to me. I can just sort of step on them and crush their shells and kill them. Omastar is, I feel like, decently dangerous. It's got the spikes, it's got a pretty big mouth. If I can rip those tentacles off a la Gooper Blooper from Super Mario Sunshine, I'm probably in business. How big is Omastar? I think that's important to ask. Omastar. Your boy Omastar's 3 feet. 3 feet big. I put Omastar and can fight back, probably, and then Kabutops murders me. Can he retract into his shell? Maybe. He possibly can, but I could probably just, you know, crush the shell, all things considered. If I, like, stomp it enough, I might be able to crack it. And I feel like on the inside of the shell, he's not strong. Kabutops has killed me. Definitely. Aerodactyl? I'm probably sustaining heavy injuries. This is about as scary as birds go, is Aerodactyl, because he's made out of rocks. He's got, you know, a pointy tail, he's got big jaw. He's a scary bird. Pretty scary bird. Mega Aerodactyl, it's, I mean, that's probably lethal. That's probably lethal. Snorlax is tough. Snorlax is a rough thing, because I don't think Snorlax is going to do much fighting back, unless he uses, like, Pulverizing Pancake. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not going to hurt Snorlax, but I don't think Snorlax is really going to hurt me either. I think Snorlax is probably going to be an even matchup, because I feel like Snorlax for the first 3/4 of the battle is going to be asleep, and then when he's finally, like, getting bothered by the fact that I'm hitting him, he will get up, but I feel like he's lumbering. He's got weight on his side. How big is he? How big is Snorlax? Snorlax. No, not Snorlax weakness. He's 6'11". He's about 7 feet tall. I think that's an even matchup, all things considered. The elemental birds. Moltres is definitely gonna murder me. Moltres is definitely gonna murder me. Honestly, all 3 of the birds will probably murder me. We got Frostbite, we got literally being set on flames. I think all the birds will probably kill me. I mean, they're all very scary birds. They're big. They got elemental powers. I don't think I stand much of a chance there. Dratini's an easy punch. Dragonair, can it fight back? It could probably, like, twist itself around me. Dragonite. Dragonite, it has wings, it can fly. I don't know if I'm super scared of it. I say it's heavy injury sustained for Dragonite, probably. Mewtwo, I'm dead. Any Mewtwo is killing me. They can just use their psychic powers to absolutely rip me, like, 3 fucking buttholes. Like, I stand no chance. And then Mew, I don't know if Mew even fits on this chart, because I don't know what Mew would do. Mew could potentially do anything. Mew could kill me, and it could. I mean, I don't think Mew fights back, really, is the thing. It does fight back? Okay. In that case, its psychic powers are probably pretty strong. Yeah. Alright, fair enough. I'll put Mew and I'm dead then. Alright, so that is it for Gen. It will cry when you punch it? Well, easy. Heavy injuries sustained. I gained power when I make animals cry. I gained power. I mean, Mew's like 2 feet tall. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could punch Mew hard enough on the first try to knock it out, maybe. Is Jigglypuff in here? Jigglypuff's an easy punch. Look at Jigglypuff. He's dead. I smack it. It tries to sing. I cover my ears and I punch it super hard in the next week. Jigglypuff! And then just the Smash Bros sound, you know? No contest or whatever. Alright, well that's gonna be it for Gen 1. There's a lot of easy punch Pokemon. There's a lot of easy punch Pokemon in this generation. There's a lot of little baby boys that don't have limbs or can't hurt me, and I can just rip to shreds. Welcome, new person, indeed. Albedo's Cake, very good to see you. Can fight back, you know, decent bit. Things with you know, wings are obviously going to be more scary for me. And you know, a lot of the can fight back Pokemon honestly just have defensive options available to them. Even matchup heavy, injury sustain. I don't know that there's too much to say here. I think some of these are still, you know, kind of between things. I think the ones that are very much defined are I'm dead. Any of these Pokemon can kill me. Is gonna deflect my punch? Hello? Have you ever punched a balloon? It's the balloon Pokemon. You punch it. It's dead. I'm popping it. Yeah, well, I mean, eventually it's gonna take a beating. I mean, I have all day. I can punch. I can beat up a Jigglypuff all day. All right, bud. Like, there's no chance that it's surviving. It can't hurt me. It's soft. It's not doing it. What's it gonna? Is it gonna draw me in marker? I'm so scared. Psych. I'm not. I'm not scared even in the slightest. Let me see if I can zoom out here and show off the whole thing in one bit. Probably not, right? It's cute. Why punch him? Because we're here for blood. We're here for blood, all right? That's the what we're here for is blood. Does this show up? It doesn't show off the whole thing. Yeah, there's no way to get all the Pokemon. All right. Well, that's gonna be the whole tier list. For Gen 1, we'll be back eventually, probably in a few days, for the Gen 2 punch tier list. Post this into the Discord. You could post this in the Discord. I guess I could take a picture. But this will be up on YouTube in 2 days, as usual, so that'll be Saturday morning. And I will see you guys back here for the Johto punch tier list. Then, Albedo's Cake, you just happen to come at the end. Consider checking out our VODs. Play a lot of different games. Consider checking out the Discord, the YouTube channel over at youtube.com/Technovoid. No 200 in that one. For other tier lists and other videos and all sorts of stuff. And consider following as well so that you see, you know, when the next one comes around. If you're interested, of course. I don't wanna do the thing. I don't wanna force your hand. You know, your hand, the only hand being forced is mine through Eevee's fucking skull. Alright? That's the only hand being forced today, is that one. So I will see you all next time. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for the follow. Alrighty. See you guys later. Bye-bye.